The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, and thank you to everyone for joining TechExcel today. My name is Renee Alanis. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager here at TechExcel. We have the opportunity today to take a sneak peek at the release of ServiceWise/CustomerWise 10.0. This is the first time that TechExcel has done anything like this. And the goal of this webinar and this preview is to allow our customers the opportunity to provide suggestions, requests, and feedback to TechExcel product managers before the official release of 10.0, which is scheduled for November at TechExcel's user conference. So today's webinar will run about 45 minutes and will include a question and answer session at the end. And also at the conclusion of the webinar, we'll provide an email for all of you attendees to submit your feedback, your comments, your requests to our product managers. We'll also send out, and the next day, a recording. This webinar will be recorded. We'll send out a link to our site where you can try it live, and also a reminder of the email to where you can send it. But in the meantime, I encourage all of you to use the question feature. It's located at the right-hand side of your GoToMeeting table, and just type in your question and we'll try to answer them at the end of today's discussion. Now I'd like to introduce today's speaker, Prince Hong. Prince is the Product Marketing Manager at TechExcel. Welcome, Prince.
Hey, thanks, Renee. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our webinar. I know some of you guys are in Europe too, and thanks for coming. I know it's late for you, but we appreciate it. I also want to introduce our product manager, Charles, too. So I'll be asking a few questions from him if needed, but just want to let you guys know that Charles is also here on the line with us. To get started, basically, like Renee said, it's going to be really ServiceWise 10. We're going to have a beta release, I believe, in August, but I'll provide with you some links that you can go ahead and try now, and then the ability to send some feedback using one of the new email accounts that we've set up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so a couple things here, kind of like a high-level overview of 10.0. So the reason why we're developing 10.0 is obviously we know CustomerWise and ServiceWise needs really a much-needed facelift, and so that's really the primary design goal. And we're basically going to dramatically improve our user interface so that you really can increase your productivity by working on tickets, incidents, etc. Simultaneously. And throughout this webinar, or the rest of these slides I'm going to go through, you'll be able to see all the changes that we're making to better your experience. And even though we're introducing a brand new interface, we aim to try to keep all the existing features so that there will be no loss of functionality. So it really is just a pretty big facelift. And I also want to mention that in the near future, I'm not sure if it's going to be in 10.0, but it'll be shortly after that where we're going to merge CustomerWise and ServiceWise into one product line. So what this means is that users that are currently using ServiceWise will be able to use the system for external customer support and not only for IT help desk. And then we understand that a lot of businesses are shifting over to the cloud, so we'll be able to track also internal assets that could potentially impact multiple customers and employees. For example, if we have a hosted server that goes down, we'll be able to notify everyone that's impacted, and this is especially important to some of our MSP customers. So just keep in mind that's coming. And then lastly, part of ServiceWise 10.0 not only includes the much needed facelift, but we'll also introduce a new mobile app as well. I think currently our application or our mobile app really is just a mobile web page and not really a native app for iPhone and Android. Okay, moving on. Basically, this is really the general look and feel. So what you're looking at here is the home page, and really it just shows off kind of the reorganization of our navigation and toolbars. And the aim really is to remove a lot of clutter and to really lighten the busy interface that we currently have. There's going to be a lot of new icons that make everything, more intuitive and less words, pretty much. And then lastly, users will be able to also choose a theme of their preference. So whatever looks good to you, you'll be able to, I think, use up to maybe 3 to 5 themes in the initial go. And then I think we'll start introducing, additional themes later this year. All right, so going on to the incident list view, again, there's going to be brand new controls so that it'll be easier to find things. You're still going to be able to sort columns, but in addition, one of the biggest changes is we'll be able to filter based on any columns that's included in your list view. Because currently, this incident list view, you can add, as many fields as you want into it, any custom fields and whatnot. But we do not have the ability to click on a field and be able to do a filter on the fly. So I'll be showing you some of that too after this slide presentation. And then you can see basically the navigation bar or the panel that used to be up on the top, we shifted over all to the left-hand side. And I think that basically will provide more space, more workspace area for you to work in. And then also part of the reorg, we basically moved like the pagination down to the bottom so it doesn't really get into your view. So just a couple of things like that you'll be seeing throughout this demo. Okay, a couple of things about the list filter. One thing I just mentioned is being able to list, use any of the fields in the custom list view to be able to do filters. So I have a screenshot here where you can kind of see that. It's on the bottom right-hand corner. And then also on the top, to kind of illustrate, we're keeping some of the existing functions. Up on the top, that's basically our new filter. So you're still going to be able to filter by customers or employees. And then also your usual, your status filters and the owner filters, as well as your queries. Okay, and perhaps one of the biggest changes in this 10.0 release is what we call this dynamic tab thing. This is really nothing new. It's just a concept that you'll probably see in any browser today. So essentially, we're going to have the ability to open things as a different tab. And then each of these tabs are really URL based. So what that means is that you should be able to copy the link, a link from any tab, and paste it into maybe a new browser. So you'll be able to compare things side by side. That should be a lot easier. And then also, you should be able to, for example, take multiple phone calls and submitting multiple tickets at the same time. I'll kind of show you that too later when we get into demo. Okay, so in the incident detail, there's been a lot of complaints about how it's hard to see. Things are kind of tight. Things are small. So you can see the new controls pretty much enlarges everything. There's no alignment issues. That's something that was a concern as well. So everything is properly aligned. And really the resolution, or actually this web interface has been changed so that it's responsive. And what that means is it's really going to work with all resolutions. So it doesn't matter what your resolution is set on. Everything should look proper. And you should be able to resize things with the controls just following whatever your resolution is. And so again, the buttons are big, they're consistent, and really we're trying to clean up all the clutter. Okay, and one of the other improvements is basically our new reports. So what you're going to get in this version are HTML5 based reporting controls. So what that means for you right now is there's not going to be any Silverlight, and there's not going to be any Java worries there either, because we know that, for example, Chrome today has completely disabled Silverlight, and Java is just a pain in the neck to use. So we're going to remove all that, and it's just going to be, HTML5 based, and all the reporting controls are going to be updated, and we'll see a little bit of that too. Another thing about these reports is that the format and the arrangement of, or how to organize these reports have been completely changed. We're kind of sticking with our tree over here on the left-hand side, and basically you'll be able to actually have multiple reporting views. So for different roles, people will be able to see the reports that matter to them. All right, and then we'll get into that as well. Another thing we're doing for the customer web portal is, or the employee and customer web portal, is basically the ability to have an external knowledge search. So what that means is really, I know our self-service right now is kind of lacking, but we'll be able to not really even need to have a login, but be able to search against any knowledge documents that you publish out. So up on the top, actually, you'll see two tabs. There's a login tab, and there's also a knowledge tab. It may seem kind of weird now, but we're going to be changing some of the way it looks, the alignment and stuff like that. But it's a screenshot of me trying to show you that there's going to be different views for knowledge as well. So you can actually set up different views for maybe different customer or employee types up on the top. And we'll be showing that too. So for knowledge internally, though, the way you organize knowledge, actually this is a screenshot of how the new knowledge will look. So we're going to have things like be able to list out your featured topics, or maybe your very popular articles. Things like that will be displayed first. I mean, the dashboard here is totally customizable and configurable, but this is how it's going to look in a presentational way. To organize the knowledge is still going to be in that tree structure. Okay, and then one really popular request that we've been getting is the ability to do chatting, with your employees or with your customers. This is kind of nice in a way that we'll be able to recognize who's talking to you. So if somebody anonymous comes in and we recognize their IP address or their cookie, if they've been there before, we're able to match that against an existing customer or an existing employee, and we can even create incidents and customers and employees from chat as well. So that's coming. Okay, so this part is going to be a little bit hard to show today in the webinar, only because this is our new native MyServiceWise app. And so I just wanted to show you in these slides a little bit about how it's going to look like and how you're going to be able to use it. So obviously it's not like our old web page where it's just it fits for a mobile app, but rather it's truly going to be a native app. So we have our login page and a couple of navigational panes displayed here. And this is how the incidents, the events, and notifications will kind of look like. And again, I won't be able to show you this through the webinar, but at the user conference, you'll be able to try this out. Okay, so a couple other things I kind of mentioned already. So that combines ServiceWise and CustomerWise, a little bit about the roadmap after 10.0. We're going to add on, of course, your feedback with 10.0, but along with that, the other major feature that we'll have is the ability to do portfolio management. Currently, you're able to do project management, but not portfolio. So this is at a much bigger level, and it's going to be able to integrate into DevSuite, and then also integrate to all of your projects, whether it's incident management, change management, whatever. It'll be sitting on top of that. So that's going to be coming, and it'll give you the ability to be able to do resource planning and financial budgeting, and set up alerts and things like that in this brand new module. So we'll probably do another webinar on just the portfolio piece a little bit later this year. Okay, so here are some links, and we'll pass out these slides to you in a follow-up email, but we're going to set up a system for you so that you can actually go in and try what I'm about to show you here. So the link is trysw10.techexcel.com. The site will be up a little bit after this webinar, but the new email, or the email address where you can submit feedback to would be servicewise _feedback@techexcel.com. And as I mentioned, in September 2015, we're going to go ahead and do a beta release So you might want to go ahead and get that for your test environment, and then our final release should be available in November at our user conference. And speaking of the user conference, just a little bit about when it's going to happen. So the date's set to be November 2 to 6, and we have a early bird special that's going to be, the deadline is actually the end of this month. So encourage you to come in and visit techexcel.com/conference2015 to kind of see what this conference is about and all
Right,
the specials that you can get.
Prince Mike, you're doing great. Can I just jump in? This this deadline is a $500 discount, so I encourage you to review this. And if you have any questions, please please contact us. This is a great conference to meet directly with product managers, hear from other TechExcel users. Our customers will present on their case studies, how they use it, unique ways they use our products, as well as see the roadmap for 2016 and hear from our CEO. It's a great opportunity, so please check out that website for more information about our conference.
Okay, thanks for that. And so now I'm going to kind of jump into the actual product. So I think right now we can't really say it's in beta yet. I would say it's more kind of in the alpha release. So there's going to be a lot of little awkward or issues that you may see, but I'll try to avoid all those. So I'm going to go ahead and end the presentation here and actually get right into it. Okay, so what you're looking at now is the home page for 10.0. And so again, you're going to be able to do all the same features, but everything's going to look much neater, along with those HTML5 controls that I was telling you about. So this is kind of just a sample that we have. You're still going to be able to do your announcements and be able to look at tickets in a quick way from the dashboard, but yeah, so the new dashboard looks something like this, and it's all widget-based still. Along with that, you'll be able to actually set up multiple dashboards for the different roles. Okay, so going into it, we're going to go ahead and go into maybe the incident list first here. So in the incident list, a couple of things that you'll notice is pretty much all that clutter that was up on the top has been moved over to the left-hand side. So these icons hopefully are intuitive enough for you to realize what they do. So for example, we have our incidents over here, our events, we may have our knowledge over here, our reporting, and being able to manage the employee view, the customer view. Pretty much all that has been moved over to the left, and we'll be able to, I believe, change projects by just clicking on that button up on the upper left-hand side. All right, so you can see it's pretty much, I mean, we're trying to keep the same functionality here, but it's pretty much just been reorganized, and everything has just been, I guess, more appealing. The buttons are much larger, the fonts are easier to read, and things like that. Over here on the right-hand side, we're going to be able to, do your user preference as usual, and then we'll be able to change our themes that I was telling you about. So these are kind of the included themes that we have, but not all of them will be done by the actual release time. So we're going to probably have up to 3 to 5 of them, but let me go ahead and switch over to a different theme so you can kind of see. Yeah, so this one is the Metro Black, but yeah, it still needs a little bit more work, but you can see we're making a lot of changes to this. So I'm going to change it back to the default, and over here on the top here, basically we're trying to give you more space to work in. So we kind of hidden the controls, the filters, up on the very top here. So I can kind of minimize if I just want to see our list view. But if I wanted to use any of our previous filters, they're all available by just expanding this top portion. So in the filters, there's a couple of different things here. So we're able to actually type in something here. So I can actually say, level 1 support. It'll basically just automatically recognize where you're typing and be able to pick that from the list for you. Same with most controls, actually, will be able to do that. We still have our original queries, so that'll still be available. Another thing we can do is be able to actually multi-select from this list view. So basically, I enable the multi-select, and pretty much now we're able to select, more than one thing at a time. So I don't know if this is a feature that, we should have enabled always. So, I encourage you to send me some feedback here. If this is actually something you want, that should be there forever. So, yeah, over here down on the list view, we're going to be able to, if you can kind of see, there's a little icon here, and that's the way we'll be able to filter by the different fields. So let's just say, this is too much for you. We can actually just minimize that and kind of just start using the filters like this. So I don't know if it's actually 100% working right now, but you can kind of see I can change the current state to be something like this right here instead of using the filters up on the top. And of course, you're able to clear all the queries or all the filters, but this is how it will look like. And I think the date queries or the date filters, yeah, we'll have a calendar control here to save you the time of typing things out. And again, I don't know if you caught that earlier. I accidentally clicked on the columns, so everything is pretty much sortable still, and it's actually resizable. I don't think that we have that today in our current interface. So there's a lot of changes coming there. Again, we'll be able to filter on pretty much any fields that's filterable in this list view. Okay, so Charlie, do you know if I'm missing any features that I should mention in this list view?
I think you're all good.
Okay.
I saw a question asking about whether is there going to be an indicator on the column filter when it's active, and the answer is yes. Prince, I think you can try that and it should work. For example, current state and filter by level 1 support.
Okay, let me go ahead and do that. Yeah. Okay. Yep, so apparently there's notifications on filters and whatnot. Okay, anything else, Charlie?
I think that's it for now.
Okay, now I'm going to move on. So on this page, also what you'll notice is up on the top, we're going to have these tabs I mentioned earlier. So pretty much like, any of your browser tabs. So we can basically click on a incident, for example, and it's going to open up a different tab. Charlie, do you know if this is optional, if we're going to have detailed frames still, so maybe on the same page?
Currently is the answer will be no. We're removing the detail frame on the bottom.
Okay, again, that's something that we would probably like your feedback on if you guys feel that's needed to keep the detail frame still instead of having everything pop up. So feedback is greatly appreciated. Along with these tabs, what's going to happen, and it's not implemented yet, but I should be able to, actually get the URL right from the top, and I should be able to open up a different browser or even open up a different tab within the same browser and basically do things simultaneously. So that's coming. Along with this is pretty much what I said earlier, when we're able to create new incidents or multiple incidents at the same time. So you can see the new buttons actually up on the top here. So when we do a new incident, I can actually pick up, a different phone call and maybe, open a different tab for another incident and then kind of just submit when I feel it's ready. So this is basically one of the biggest features in 10.0, to be able to do things simultaneously. Okay, so let's have a look at the incident details maybe. So I have the incident details up. There's still going to be some work that needs to be done here, but the alignment issues I was telling you about, it's kind of been fixed. So there's still a little bit, some things left here where, the drop-downs are not properly aligned, not 100% yet, but that's being worked on now. And again, we're able to resize this interface, and these controls will automatically adjust to your resolution. There's also going to be, the existing functionality, so our timestamps, those are still going to be there. And then I think we're going to be improving the description field so that will be we'll give you a much bigger area to work in instead of a tiny rectangle like this. So there's a couple of things that are not being, that has not been implemented yet, and we're still working at it. But again, we'll have this environment for you to try, and then if you maybe come back a few days later, you'll actually see more additional or newer features being added. So it'll be a live environment for you guys to try. Under the incident details, is there anything else I'm missing, Charlie?
No.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's move on. So let's go to the reporting tab. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just close all of this extra stuff here. Okay, and then over here, this is the new reporting tab that I was talking about. So we're going to be able to just click on it to set up additional reporting views for different users. And then the same features where we have public and private reports, but everything's going to be easier to use. Because right now the reporting in the current interface is pretty cluttered, and even I have a very hard time using that. So, but kind of take a quick look at the new controls that we'll be using. Again, it's going to be HTML5 based, and there's no Silverlight, no Java, no third-party add-ons and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and let's pick one of these HTML5 reports. Okay, you can kind of see it's just brand new and looks pretty modern. And I think with the new controls, we're able to hover over and you can kind of see things. So there's going to be the existing incident list reports, the trend reports, but I think we're going to add a couple of additional reports aside from our traditional ones. But that's about it for this page, right, Charlie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. One other thing too is if you notice, when I click on a view, one of the things I forgot to mention is there's always going to be a thumbnail of all the reports that are in this particular view. So any additional views I set up, there's always going to be a way to preview the reports that have been defined for that particular view. Okay. Let's see if we can go into maybe the knowledge search. Charlie, I think it's CWP here, right?
For knowledge search or the chatting?
The external search, external knowledge search.
That one, you need to go to demo 2.
Okay, so I'm going to just switch. We have a couple of different test environments that we're working in. I can't remember all of the names.
Slash
ServiceWise?
EWP or
CW?
CWP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so this is where I took a screenshot. We still have a little bit, a couple of little details that we need to work on, but yeah, this is the ability to basically search against the knowledge before logging in, so kind of the self-service part of it. And your auto recommendation search, I know that's still going to be there, but a major fix is coming where you're going to be able to actually, search or on knowledge before you submit a ticket. So I know that was a big issue for everybody too. So all this stuff is going to be changed. I think even this guy is going to be changed a little bit. This is not what the customers will see. They're actually going to see something like under the knowledge base here. They're going to actually see something like this, a more presentation instead of format. So pretty much a presentational view where we can see things. One thing about this knowledge base is, I don't know if I can show this right now, but down here you can actually see there's going to be little icons that show you, if there's any comments or the number of page views. So those kind of indicators are going to be there. They're not currently available now in our product, so that's all going to be coming to help you better utilize our knowledge base. Okay, Charlie, am I missing anything here for knowledge base?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's go ahead and let's play around with the live chatting a little bit. So if you guys notice, there's also a little chatting icon here. We're working with Zopum to kind of integrate this into our system. I think that for the majority it has been done, but we're going to go ahead and see if we can do this live. So Charlie, what was your login? It's CLIU@TechExcel.com.
Uh-huh.
And the password is just TechExcel. Okay, we're going to go ahead and sign in. And what Charlie is going to do is, yeah, I want to reload. Yes, I do want to refresh, reload this page. Okay. Okay, so what Charlie is going to do is he's going to enter a message or just some kind of question, I guess, from the employee web portal, from the customer web portal. And so you can go ahead and send me a message, Charlie. So for agents, this dashboard is going to be, it's going to allow them to kind of see, all of the past visitors, be able to see a history of things like of all the chats, and if you're an administrator, you'll be able to do things like analytics in here. So this is all part of the Zopen plugin. And then down here, we'll be able to answer any chat requests that come in. And only if you're logged in, though, as a, like I am right now. I'm logged in as Charles, but only the agents that are logged into Zopen specifically will be able to see that. So not everybody that's a technician or have a license in ServiceWise will be able to use this. It's only available for all the users that sign up with Zopen. And I think they have the first 3 users for free, I believe, or first 5 agents maybe. I could be wrong, but I know they have a plan like that. And we're going to be working with them to see if we can actually negotiate some kind of deal where all of the users can become agents inside Zopen. Okay, so Charlie?
Prince, you probably need to make yourself online in the Zopia account.
Gotcha. So let me go ahead and make myself online. So we'll be able to see chat requests that come in on the bottom, and then also on the top, I'll be able to quickly reply to open chats as well. And then you can see we have the ability to create tickets in here as well.
Hold on a second.
Okay. Yeah, so I got just a couple notifications now, and I should be able to just click on that, serve one request from Charlie. And then over here, I just want to direct your attention to the right-hand side. So we'll be able to match the visitor to either an internal employee or even a customer in contact. So right now, we kind of hard-coded everything to be Terry Johnson, our sample user. But we should be able to see what organization they're from, any details or notes, additional notes for this particular user. So I think this covers it all, right, Charlie?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that I need to maybe show in this webinar?
How about we take a look at the calendar view?
Ah, that's right. Okay, so the calendar view is right here, I believe, and it's pretty much going to look like your Outlook calendar. All right, so it's brand new HTML5 controls. The layout's very similar to Outlook and what you're familiar with. And I believe, we can zoom in and zoom out with these controls. And then there's also going to be reminders and things like that, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, anything else?
I think that's all for here.
Okay. So guys, appreciate you guys joining. And again, this is still in development, but it's coming soon. And we thank you for your patience. But we're going to go ahead and set up that website for you so that you can try it yourself. And then again, we would appreciate all your feedback if you can just submit them to servicewise_feedback@techexcel.com. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into any questions. Charlie?
Okay.
We'll do a quick Q&A here, and then we'll wrap things up.
Okay.
Yeah, so are there any questions from anybody? Anything that they want to see, perhaps?
Okay, I see a question from Brian.
Okay.
Will Zopian replace web conversations? And the answer is no, and we will keep both the chatting function and our original web conversation function.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So web conversation is still going to be there. Again, I would say most of the functionality that you have today inside ServiceWise and CustomerWise will be available going forward. So we're just adding additional functionality to on top of the existing. Okay, and I guess we have a question here. Are themes user definable? I think that's something we wanted to do, right? But initially, right off the bat, we weren't able to make that happen. But I know it should be coming, right, Charlie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the first release, we're going to have a set of fixed themes, but we're definitely thinking about user-defined themes in the future.
Okay, okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, because I know that's something that we considered initially. I just don't know if we have time for it just now for this release. Okay, and then another question we have is the knowledge search box a live search? And I want to say yes. It is a live search, so basically whatever you type in, things will on the fly display for you, kind of like some of our filters that I showed you earlier. Okay, so can ServiceWise track requests for service, idle service management? Yes, of course it can. What I showed you today was mainly just incident management. Again, you know, if we set up a different project for IT service management to track requests and things like that, or do change management, we'll be able to in different projects. But this particular webinar is just to show off some of the newer features, so I didn't get into, you know, some of the project concepts. But again, yeah, that's possible. All right, and I take it the columns are resizable in the issue list view. Yes, the columns are resizable. So I know that's something that we don't have currently today. And yes, it's remember per user. Okay. And there's actually a ton of questions. Can we set up a different language to English, for example, Spanish? Yes, of course. So yeah, ServiceWise and CustomerWise come with a few language paths. You just need to contact our support team, and they should be able to provide that language pack for you. Okay, is there a way to make the filters not minimize permanently? Yeah, there's an ability to do that. I think right now we don't have that ability, but I believe there's going to be a user preference for that.
Okay. Yes, that's actually is a very good feedback.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, that's something we were kind of wondering, should we always have it there or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, can you make changes? This is a good one. Can you make changes to multiple tabs within one incident and save them all at once? Actually, that's really good feedback too. I think right now you have to save each tab separately, but we could potentially add like a save all button. And then I think in ServiceWise 10.0, there's also going to be an ability to remind you that there's actually some changes on some tabs before you close them. Yeah, so that's all coming. Okay, let's see. The reporting is also tabbed, yes. Will there be further integrations between ServiceWise, AssetWise, and Project Plane? Yes, there is actually. I didn't talk about that, but yes, in ServiceWise, actually, what we're planning on doing right now is including AssetWise to be part of this navigational pane. Right now, I know it's a standalone web. I mean, we'll continue to have that, but it'll be more tightly integrated with ServiceWise. Okay, and will emails be added to web? Sure about that. Charlie? Do you know if emails will be added to web conversations, or are they still separate today? I think they're still going to be separate, right?
Yeah, today it is still separate, and every email sending to the system will generate a web conversation, but not really with the content. But we're going to improve that.
Okay, so we'll improve the web conversation to actually show the email content. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Let's see. We have another question. Can you make changes to multiple tabs and save them all at once? Okay, I already went over that. I apologize for that. Is the calendar for the agent user or for the team? The calendar actually is both for individuals and the team. So we'll be able to do that for individuals as well. Any new features on time tracking? Aside from a facelift, I'm not sure if there's any new features with time tracking. Charlie, do you know?
No, but we're going to improve the usability of the time tracking piece.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah, so again, guys, just send me feedback, and then depending on, the frequency of these questions, we'll try to get them implemented in 10.0. So definitely want all of your feedback. Will there be a report building wizard? I think the initial go, there will not be, but that's a really good suggestion that we can do. Okay. Any difference with AssetWise 10, version 10? Yeah, actually, that's a really good question too. AssetWise version 10 is going to be improved so that you're able to track assets against customers. And I believe we're actually researching on different ways to do native discovery. I know that's something that everybody's been asking for. But currently, yeah, right now you have to use third-party integration, but stay tuned on version 10. We'll see if we can make that happen by then. Okay, there's a question here. Can the calendar be integrated with Outlook? I think right now it can, right? Even without 10.0, I think if we use the Outlook integration, it can be now. So I don't see any reason why it couldn't be in version 10. All it is really just a facelift in that regard. Okay, so can we link assets to incidents? Yes, that's one of the primary features that we'll be able to do. So linking assets to incidents rather than just linking them to assigned employees. Okay. All right, let's see. Let me kind of filter. How much time do I have? Okay, we got plenty of time, 15 minutes. Any major changes to the admin, Charlie, version 10?
We're not doing any functional change, but we're improving the admin configuration guide for users to more easily configure the admin.
Okay, great. Yeah, I want to speak a little bit to that too. I know a lot of people have been asking for a web admin, and even though that's not coming in 10.0, we're just going to reorganize the tree a little bit in 10.0, but I believe shortly after 10.0, we will be coming out with a web admin. So I know that's something that everyone's looking forward to as well. Are we getting multiple dashboards tabs similar to the Suite 9.5? And yeah, the answer to that is yes. Yeah, basically different dashboards for different stakeholders. Okay, will users be able to call up their own call ticket history? Yes, definitely. Definitely. Okay, Charlie, are there any other questions that you see maybe I missed, perhaps? I know we have a lot of questions in here, so I just kind of randomly picked. I'm sorry we can't get to all of the questions, but again, use that feedback email, and we'll try to get back to you. Okay, Charlie, anything else that I may be missing?
No, I think you're good.
Okay, okay. Renee, you have anything you want to add?
No, I just think this is great feedback from all of our customers. Thank you for your great questions. Charlie and Prince and the whole team are working very hard to deliver a product that our customers want. We are a company that is fortunate enough that we have the flexibility to listen to our customers, and we appreciate your feedback. And if we didn't get to your question, again, like Prince said, provide it to the feedback email. We will take everything into consideration, your requests, your feedback, and do what we can to get the product that you need. And also be sure to check out our upcoming user conference where you can learn more about TechExcel as well.
Perfect, perfect. And just one last thing, we'll send a follow-up email to you with all the links and the email address and etc. so that in case you missed it, you'll have it in your email. Okay, guys, thank you for coming to this webinar. Stay tuned. There's a lot of new exciting features coming, and we appreciate everyone for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you.